linear programming problems, introduction, and how LPP problems are formulated. So in short, we see the introduction of linear programming problem. The Russian mathematician L.V. Contreras applied this mathematical model to solve linear programming problems in 1939. He pointed that many classes of problems which arises in production can be defined mathematically and therefore can be solved numerically. Then afterwards, this decision-making technique was further developed by George B. Dantes. He formulated the general linear programming problem and developed a simplex method in 1947 to solve complex real-time application. So at the beginning in 1939, the Russian mathematician identified the theoretical problems, or you can say the production problems, that we can convert in a numerical format, in mathematical format, and that we can solve using some techniques. To solve such type of examples in linear programming, some techniques were used like graphical method, simplex method, dual simplex method, big M method. There are a number of methods. With the help of that, we can solve this linear programming problem. So instead of discussing details about other techniques, we'll see the linear programming problem concept. This linear programming problem is a mathematical technique which is used to optimize the objective function with the limited resources. Here, two things we have to take into consideration. Limited resources are nothing but conditions in which you have to check the optimum condition. That optimum condition may be for maximization or maybe for minimization. So most of the time, when you are considering the profit, then always every organization tries to maximize the profit. So if your example contains the word like profit, then from that word also you can identify the problem is for maximization. And if a problem, how to identify minimization problem? If your example contains loss or time, such type of terminology were used in your example, then you can identify the given problem is for minimization. Because every organization want to minimize the loss, to minimize the idle time, to reduce the time of completion of a particular job. So if your example contains such type of loss or time, such type of keywords, then you can identify that is a minimization problem. Then mathematically, the general linear programming problems may be stated as follows. The z is my objective function, and my objective is either to maximize the value of z or minimize the value of z. So the z in your exam, in the example, the example may contain either maximize z or minimize z. Okay, is equal to c1 x1 c2 x2 that is cn x1. So these x1 x2 xn are called as condition variable. x1 x2 x that xn are called as condition variable. Means to maximize the value of z, we have to consider the value of x1 x2 that's the xn variable. And when you put the value of x1 x2 xn in this expression, you will get the value of z. And out of the set of possible value of z, you have to select the value of z on the basis of the objective of that function. Whether the function is for maximization, then you have to select maximum value of z. If the objective function is for minimization, then you have to select minimum value of z. So this is called as objective function subject to the condition. To identify the optimum value of this z, or to identify the correct value of x1 x2 and that xn, we have to check the constraints, that is a11 x1 plus a12 x2 that a1n xn. So this is my first constraint. That constraints may contain either less than equal to sign or equal to sign or greater than equal to sign. So this is my first constraint. This is left hand side and this is right hand side, and this is the situation. Either this situation is the left hand side may be less than or equal to right hand side, left hand side may be equal to this right hand side, or left hand side may be greater than or equal to right hand side. So there might be m number of different constraints. So this is my first constraint, that's why A11. This is second, that's why A21. This is my mth constraint, that's why AM1. So in this fashion, we can design the linear programming problem. This is the formulation of linear programming problem. So before solving any example, we will see some useful definitions and some useful key terms that we are going to use during the linear programming problem. The first is objective function. Objective function is nothing but a function z is equal to c1x1 plus c2x2 that is cnxn. This function is called as objective function, and always this objective function indicates the maximum value or minimum value of that function. Second is a decision variable. In your objective function, the variables x1, x2, xn, these variables are called as decision variable. Decision variables are the variables which has to be determined. We have to identify the value of that. That is xj. J is nothing but j may take value from 1 to n to optimize objective function. The third one is the constraints. Constraints are nothing but conditions. There are certain limitations or certain conditions on which the use of limited resources are called as constraints. So when you are selecting any value of x1, x2, xn, then you have to check whether the value that we are selecting that fulfills all constraints or not. Constraints are nothing but limitations. We'll see example, then you can get understood how that constraint plays an important role in selecting the value of x1, x2, and xn. The next one is a feasible solution. What is feasible solution? A set of values of decision variables. A set of values of decision variables that satisfies all the constraints of the problem and non-negative restrictions is called feasible solution. So when we are selecting any values of x1, x2, that is xn, and when you are putting that value in objective function, then you will get number of solutions. So those number of solutions are called as feasible solutions. Then optimum solution. Out of that set of feasible solutions, which either maximizes or minimizes the objective function is called as optimal solution. From the set of solution, if your problem is for maximization, then we have to select a maximum value, and that maximum value is called as optimal solution. If your problem is for minimization, then from the feasible set of values, we have to select minimum value, and that value you can say is my optimal solution. And last, feasible region. In a graphical method, we are considering this concept, feasible region. Feasible region is the common region determined by all the constraints, including non-negative constraint. That is, how to identify non-negative constraints? All value of xj should be greater than or equal to 0 of a linear programming problem is called a feasible solution. Or feasible solution is also called as, or feasible region is also called as solution region for the problem. So these are some key terms that we have to remember while solving the LPP. Now we'll see how to formulate a LPP. One simple example, for that we need some steps to be considered. To convert the LPP in a mathematical format, the first thing that you have to take into consideration is you have to identify the decision variables. From the given problem, you have to identify decision variable, then identify the objective functions, whether that is for maximization or for minimization, and express it as in a linear function of a decision variable. In second step, you have to check whether the given problem is for maximization or minimization, and on the basis of that you have to identify and you have to declare the objective function. The third one is that you have to identify set of constraints or conditions and express them as a linear inequalities or equations in terms of decision variable. So from the given problem, we have to identify what are the basic conditions, what are the basic constraints, and that constraints you have to write as a third step. And last one, check non-negative restrictions, whether the condition variable that you are selecting, whether those are all variables are positive or some variables are negative. Those things you have to identify, and Once you identify all those things, then you have to write the formulated LPP with objective function, with constraints and non-negative restrictions. So these are 4 steps that you have to follow while solving LPP, while formulating LPP. Now we'll see one simple example. A furniture dealer deals only 2 items. Here we identify how many items, how many variables are there, decision variables are there. Only 2 variables are there, 2 items. And what are those? Tables and chair. So I can give the first variable table, second variable chair. He has to invest rupees 10,000. He has having maximum 10,000 rupees for investment and a space to store almost 60 pieces. He is having store that can accommodate maximum 60 items. Pieces are nothing but items. That item may be a table, that item may be a chairs. A table cost him rupees 500 and chair rupees 200. He can sell at the items that he buy. Means he is a dealer. So if he purchase one table, then the purchase cost of one table is rupees 500, and for a single chair, rupees 200 is the cost. What item he is buying, he can sell. Now he is getting a profit of rupees 50 per table and rupees 15 per chair. Means if he sold out any item, if that item is a table, then he will get rupees 50 as a profit, and if he sold a chair, then he will getting rupees 15 as a profit for chair. So on the basis of this, formulate this problem as a LPP so as to maximize the profit. The word max profit, indirectly we can say this is problem for maximization. Okay, now what is the first step? In first step, we have to identify variables. Here let x1 and x2 denotes number of tables and chair respectively, because here 2 variables are given, 2 items only we are discussing with. So for the tables, I have given the variable name x1, and for chair, I have given the variable name as x2. So in first step, from the given example, we have to identify variables. These variables are also called as decision variables. So table and chair, I have to purchase and I have to sold. So these are the 2 variables I have to consider. So I have given name x1 for tables and x2 for chairs. The second thing is that we have to identify the objective function. What is my objective? My objective is to maximize the profit. I have to maximize the profit. But how it is possible to maximize the profit? If I sold a single table, then I will getting rupees 50 as a profit. If I sold a chair, then I am getting rupees 15 as a profit. So profit on x1 table is 50 x1, because x1 is for tables and x2 is for chairs. So rupees 50 I will getting after selling one table, rupees 15 I will getting after selling one chair. So how total profit I will get? Total profit is equal to 50 x1 plus 15 x2. Okay, so let z is equal to 50 x1 plus 15 x2, which is the objective function. Since the total profit is for maximization, because the problem is for maximization, we have maximize z is equal to 50 x1 plus 15 x2. This is my objective function. This is my objective function in which I have to identify value of x1 and x2 so that the value of z is maximum. So this is the second step. I have identified objective function. Then third one is, now I have to identify the constraints. So from the given example, the dealer has a space to store at most 60 pieces. He can purchase n number of items, but what is the limitation? To store those items, maximum 60 items he can store. That 60 items may be all tables, maybe all chairs, or maybe combination of tables and chairs, but maximum 60 pieces he can store in his store. So first condition that I've identified, that is x1 plus x2 should be less than or equal to 60. So x1 is nothing but table, x2 is nothing but chairs. The addition of table and chair must be less than or equal to 60 because the store is having capacity to store only 60 items. The cost of x1 tables is rupees 500 x1. If he purchase one table, he has to pay rupees 500 rupees. Likewise, if he purchase one single chair, he has to spend rupees 200 rupees. So as we know that he is having a maximum of 10,000 rupees in his hand. So what is second constraint? The total cost to purchase table and chair will be 500 x1 plus 200 x2, because x1 is for table and x2 is for chair. If I purchase a single table, that will cost rupees 500. If I purchase a single chair, that will cost of rupees 200. So, and we know that the total cost cannot be more than 10,000. This is the constraint they have given. The total cost should be less than 10,000 rupees. So my condition, second condition becomes 500 x1 plus 200 x2 should be less than or equal to 10,000. Just I have deleted 2 zeros from left hand side of the right hand side of all coefficient values. So I got 5x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 100. So these are the two conditions I got from the example. The next part, non-negative restrictions. Since the number of tables and chair cannot be negative, because we are purchasing one, if we are not purchasing item, then the quantity of table will be 0. And if you have purchased something, that is a positive value. So the value of x1 should be greater than or equal to 0, x2 should be greater than or equal to 0. This is non-negative constraint, because we cannot say I have purchased minus 2 tables, I have purchased minus 2 chairs. So the items that we are purchasing, that may have value equal to 0 or greater than 0. So the constraint is x1 comma x2 should be greater than or equal to 0. So from all the discussion, the mathematical formations of the LPP is maximize z is equal to 50x1 plus 15x2, subject to the condition x1 plus x2 less than 60, that we have identified first constraint, and 5x1 plus 2x2 less than 100, that is second constraint that we identify, and where the x1 and x2 should be greater than or equal to 0. So this is the mathematical formation of the LPP. Once you formulate the theoretical problem into mathematical form, then we can solve either using LPP using graphical method, simplex method, or there are some other types of methods. With the help of that, we can solve your LPP. This is about how to formulate LPP. In next lecture, we will see how to solve LPP using graphical method. Okay, thank you.